Hold on,
All
I ain't
right.
finished watching the game. Okay,
All right. Well, how many minutes you got for that?
go ahead. Wait, Tim started.
How many?
Tim started. You on live? You on live?
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to another episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You got Wayne, Tim, and Ethan. Ethan should be on the way. Hey, what a difference a game makes. Because the last time we saw the Sixers, they looked like they didn't have anybody that could rudder the ship going down the stretch. We faced the team that we played in the playoffs and lost 2 25-point leads to. And a lot of people blamed Ben Simmons. And then some people who didn't want to blame Ben Simmons playing Tobias and Embiid. Well, we didn't have Ben today, but Maxey stepped up down the stretch. And he did what we and me personally, I even said, like, I didn't think that he was right now. It didn't look like he was doing it. So I felt like we needed help there. But like y'all said, Maxey, a couple of y'all on here was saying how Maxey might just been being held back a little bit, but they let him go today, and Maxey balled out down the stretch. It was a good team win though, because we had Steph balled at certain points. Toby carried us. B didn't have a great game, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with him playing like that if everybody else plays the way that they play. It was a good team win.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm okay with him playing like that for the stretch of the season, but you know, he having a down year. He having a down year, so hopefully he can bounce back. I don't know if it's conditioning. Maybe he got to get back in conditioning. But B is having a down year. It looked like a team win though, man. It was a good team win. Pretty even across the board for the starters, scoring. So solid D. I told y'all we would beat Atlanta without Ben Simmons. I told y'all that.
I told y'all that.
I said that.
Hold up. You was just the one to myself. You like a 6 seed. Atlanta got better. The Knicks got better. Chicago. You was running off all these teams. You said Atlanta got better, so Atlanta was better than us, right?
We did. What happened was, I'm gonna tell you what. But this was like the. Hold on. Is there any truth to this? Was like a rebound when you mad about what happened in the playoffs. You come in with a lot of energy and you want to teach them a lesson.
It was a revenge. It was a revenge game. It was a revenge game.
I don't think that it necessarily was, because early in the game it was back and forth. Wasn't nobody really getting off like that.
No, I mean, this
game. Tim, that's the word.
This game was fun. It was just a fun, entertaining game to watch. Wire to wire, the Sixers came in and they just balled out. And don't get me wrong, there's some criticism I could take from Joel Embiid. I do think that he shot way too many 3-pointers. He shot like 3 in the first quarter. Which I agree. He'll do. Because the thing is that he had his elbow jumper working for him when he decided to take that mid-range elbow jumper. That was cool. But the boy wanted to sit out there and take 3-pointers. But I'm not here to rip him today, because I think everybody else did a fantastic job. Seth struggled in the first half. He only had 3 points. But that third quarter, he came out on fire. He just was stroking.
Doc had the team ready.
The boy Thibault finally looked like he got his legs under him. He was playing very good defense.
Yo, he was blocking shots all over the place.
All over. I had a good time watching this game. I ain't gonna lie.
I did too.
For me, see that this is like I said, and I still believe this team is better without Ben Simmons. I don't care what nobody say. I love, even though even though Maxey got to get his 3-point shot together, he still takes that mid-range, who's constantly going to pull the defense out. He go to that spot, he hit them little floaters and stuff like that. He still does enough and takes the shot to make the defense have to play a little bit more honest and not just bog all the way back down the lane like they're doing with your boy Ben. And they are better. To me, they're a better team. And as long as Maxey continues to get better, the more he plays, the better we'll be. Yes. Now, other teams get better and all that. Yeah, that's my concern. I still feel we still hovering around the 4th or 5th position. And long term, at the end of the year, I think that's where we'll end. But it all depends still too a little bit on Max and if his growth process gets accelerated through all this. Now, if he's turning to Maxey that he was doing tonight, plus add a little bit of extra 3-stroke to the game, now we might inch up into that 3 spot or somewhere around there. But right now, I still see us around 4 or 5. But once again, I firmly feel this team is better without that. That's me.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that they better without Ben. If they add something in place of Ben, I would say that. I don't think that they're necessary. I could say I don't even know if they're as good without Ben, honestly. I mean,
hey, Herbert, real quick. I'm sorry, this shirt was for you. he said, "Do I own anything beside a white tee?" Last time.
Somebody said you de-aged like a young boy out there. No, honestly though, I mean, I'm not overly, like I said, I don't. If we had Ben, would they did the whack of Ben again? Would they have done it? But evidently they couldn't do that.
Wait. The boy Brandon Stokes said I'm trying to be Mr. Positive, like I wasn't hoping we lose without Ben.
He is.
Brandon,
he is.
Absolutely right.
I would never want my team to lose under no circumstances.
No, Tim is notorious for wanting his team to lose if they don't got the player he wants.
Yes, yes.
But this is my main thing about this, because I wasn't sure what the Sixers was going to do. Embiid talking about Embiid early on, his knee bothered him and everything else, and I think that had a lot to do with him selling for them threes early on. But I did like how, and it was like that in the last game too. But I feel like Doc put him down there in that mid range, and once he hit a couple of them, they was double and triple Embiid, and they was getting some open shots. And then our bench looks way better than it did last year. I think that's the biggest difference in our game. I think our bench is way better than it was last year for the whole duration of last year. I like Cork ain't do a whole lot, but I thought Shake had a decent day. Niang plays. I think Niang is very solid off the bench.
Yeah, I agree.
And Drummond. I think we had
brought the heat today too. Got the credit.
So our bench, that's what I'm saying. I think I'm talking about the additions to our bench. Those other guys that have been there, but the additions, Niang and Drummond is a slight boost above Howard, in my opinion. And Niang is better than whoever we had coming, better than George Hill or whoever else we had coming in off. He's better than Mike Scott. Niang's head and shoulders are better than anybody that we had other than him last year.
Great. Shake got to get his 3-point together. Shake 3-point looking a little shaky this year, man. He shot good from the field. He had a great spin move like in the second quarter. That joint was crazy when he spun and then hit the little finger roll joint. Yeah. But that three, he had a lot of wide open threes. He flat out just shot him short.
He was front running all his shots. But I think that's just come with him not playing. This is his first game since his second game since the preseason. So I would wait, give him a couple more games before he gets his legs underneath him. But
that's true. I'll give you that.
What's up? Well, I want to give a shout out to all our Hawks fans that come in. You know, we picked up a nice amount of Hawk fans.
Yeah, I mean, ATL.
Like Sir Wesley, what's going on, bro? I just want to give y'all a shout out. I knew y'all was gonna be in here tonight. I'm waiting to see. It's a couple other ones I'm waiting to see pop up tonight because we had a nice little back and forth last postseason.
But y'all keep in mind, last year we beat the Atlanta Hawks all throughout the regular season. That's what we did. That's why when we had them as a playoff matchup, we was assuming that it was going to be a nice, easy win for us. So this is the regular season.
It's different.
Nobody really game playing for each other because it's just like you move on to the next game, you move on to the next team. Nobody really scouting and really doing any. So I want us to be hype about the game.
You know why I'm not buying that? Because last year when we played them during the regular season, they didn't have all their players. They had their full squad. They didn't have Cam Reddish, and then in one of them games they didn't have Trae Young. And remember they wasn't playing us when we was beating them. They didn't have their full squad. That's why I was a little nervous tonight because they had their full squad. We didn't have our full
squad even when we was playing them last year.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. When we beat them in them back-to-back games, if you remember, we beat them in one game. Trae Young and them wasn't playing, and Trae Young was on the sideline talking trash because we blew them out the water. Then the next game we beat them, and they had some of their players, but they still didn't have Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish gave us the bit. Cam Reddish balled tonight.
He kept them in the game that first quarter.
Exactly.
He did ball. He
hit a lot of 3-pointers, and he missed a couple points himself.
I don't know if y'all addressed this last time or not. I was MIA 2 pods, but I think y'all talked about it a little bit. I love the way they rush it now, and Bulls is going to have to adjust. Joel Embiid, he's playing suspect mainly because they not bailing him out. They letting you get physical down low, and he not used to that. So he gonna have to adjust, man. He ain't never, I don't think since his second year here, had a streak where he averaging under 20 points a game. Like, what is it now? No, he's at 22. But that's low for Joel Embiid. And the way he's shooting his field goal percent tonight, he was like 30-something%.
I don't think he can adjust.
I don't think that it's about him adjusting. I think he's playing on the
it's about him adjusting.
He's hurt again. Okay. He
was hurt and had 40 in the playoffs. He was hurt and had 40 against Atlanta.
Okay. In the offseason, he should have got that meniscus surgery. I think that's what he kind of played the Sixers because he should have went and got healthy. He assumed that he could just heal, and game one, he aggravated all over again.
I agree.
I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna take Joel Embiid at least half the season. At least half the season to try to adjust to the way they play. When you've been playing this way for years.
Yeah, I think he'd get it better because he actually missed a lot of bunnies tonight. He missed like 3 layups. So
he did that in the playoffs last year. That's what he do.
And his mid-range shot, which was money last year, is off, and that's why I think that knee is bothering him.
But what I will say about this though, about the way they're calling it, when they start calling calls on you early, it makes defenders a little bit more skittish, and you back off. When they not calling them calls, they don't back off. So it allows you to get easier buckets as an offensive player the way they was calling the fouls. Now without them foul calling, they all up in your grill, they all up in your face. They're going to continue to play aggressive until they start getting fouls or foul trouble. And I think it's going to take about 10, 15 games. I think 10, 15 games, you're going to start seeing it be a little bit more. Because my thing, what I always said about Embiid, what I personally think will help him out if he's faster, if he makes faster decisions with the ball, whether you're going to score, whether you're going to pass, stop playing around with it, make a quick move and be done with it. But I think about 15 games or something, you're going to tighten.
Well, and the main reason I say that, I think a lot of it has to do with his knee. That's like his rebounds is down to 5. The rebounds ain't got nothing to do with the calls. The rebound has to do with because he's not able to get down there and move bodies inside like that. And this is not me making excuses for him because I think that I agree with Tim.
True.
He should have got that knee handled. But I think that physically, but he don't. But see, I think in Embiid's mind, and this comes to some of the selfishness that y'all talk about. I think in his mind, he wants to be an MVP, and he knows because he missed so many games last year is why he didn't get it. So he put it under the guise of because Ben is not playing, he feels like he needs to play more, this, that, and the other. But he's hurt, and like Tim said, he should have got that taken care of in the offseason.
And what about the boy Trae Young? The defense was on. He shot 31%. He was 5 for 16, only 1 for 4 from 3 points.
That's what he do.
Why? But why? Who was defending? Who was defending?
Maxey and
Exactly.
Well, don't get me wrong. Ben had the same. I know you're trying to make a point, but the point is not really valid because he shot the same percentage against Ben last year.
So what does that mean?
Team defense was excellent. They moved around excellent.
And Maxey played great one-on-one defense. Which my point is,
Maxey in a couple okey doke joints,
and they got
to learn from.
And Ben don't. But my point is, Ben is not, in my opinion. This is my opinion. He's not he's not as much of a great defender as y'all try to say he is. He's solid. I'm not saying he no bum defensively. He's solid. He long, pause, so he could make catch shots difficult and all that, but he's not as great as y'all say he is, in my opinion. I don't see it. I don't see it.
I disagree with both of y'all, and I think Doc sees it, and the league sees that he is a great defender. We could talk offensively all you want about his challenges, and I will agree with you. But as far as defensively, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, he's just an average defender.
I think though,
y'all being disingenuous.
Be honest with you, I think just the year of Maxey growth. I think it's going to be up and down games like this.
Hold up. Let me address this real quick. Let's stop this. Embiid is looking like this without Ben. Let's stop this. When Ben missed the entire playoffs against Boston, how much Embiid averaged then?
30 points.
30 points a game.
Embiid
is looking like this.
And they got swept.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about how Embiid looked. Embiid averaged 30 points a game. Yeah, the reason why Embiid is not looking as good is the same reason why Dame Little ain't looking so good. The same reason why the bull from the Phoenix, what's his name?
Booker and Harden.
Devin Booker. It's the same reason why they're not calling the calls that they're used to. Plus, like Wayne said, a valid point about the knee not getting handled. It is looking like he's struggling a little bit.
Who you say did that? Say it again.
You and Wayne. Tim and Wayne.
Tim, you said he should have got the surgery in off season, but I said his knee is you don't see Embiid doing a Euro step and stuff like that. The one play he went and he blew by a dude and he got an and one.
So he looks like he's out of shape. If he go to Euro step, he's gonna blow down.
My point is, all the Ben bulls is want to come crawl out the woodwork again. Stop. It's not about Ben, because the same dude, Tim Wongers, who tried to tell me about Ben, told me, let's go through the stats, told me Ben makes everybody better. Seth averaging more points. Tobias averaging the same exact points he averaged last year. Korkmaz is averaging more points. So who did Ben make better? Stop this.
Wait. Real quick, before you say Seth is averaging more points. Seth's points dropped because he got COVID. Let's not change the narrative, because early in the season,
that's what you're trying to do.
Early in the season, you were talking about how Seth was the second best player on the team and all this other stuff.
Okay. But
until he got hurt.
Okay, let's say he's averaging around. Let's say he would have been averaging around the same. Then my point is still valid. Ben is not making him better. Ben did not make Tobias better. He not make Tobias averaging the same exact thing. So is Korkmaz. Korkmaz is actually averaging more, and Seth. Let's say Seth is averaging the same. So stop the narrative that Ben is just offensive twinkle toes, a fairy dust is going to sprinkle fairy dust and make everybody game better. He don't. Stop.
He does.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Stop.
I think Embiid's gonna have a down year. He's averaging 2. He averaged 10 point something free throws a game this year. Last year he's averaging 8 now. So
that's only 2 free throws a game, though.
Hey,
you make it like
that's huge in the scope.
Hey Ellis,
when you talking about a 6-game window, this is what I'm saying. This is the same way when we were sitting there talking after 5 games. Oh, the Sixers, they looking trash. This is why you have to wait and gauge.
Hold on, let's understand something. I've been on record saying Embiid plays for the fouls too much.
Just like Harden.
I've been on record saying this. I didn't like that.
I just disagree. I hear what you're saying, but Embiid scores a lot of his baskets off the mid-range. His mid-range shot is off. His mid-range shot has been off. Like the one when he sit there and he do the jab step and he's the mid-range. I think his knee is bothering him, and I blame him for that. But I think his knee definitely is bothering him.
Yeah, stop making excuses for B, dog.
What am I? Go
get your button post. If your mid-range,
his rebounds are down.
Hold on. If your mid-range shot is off, what do? Do you go shoot threes like Embiid doing? What you do?
He started the game shooting threes, and then he went down to the
off, you get your button post.
And when you go to the post and they double and triple team you and you swinging it and people aren't hitting shots, the Sixers start hitting shots later on. The Sixers was missing shots.
Hold on. How I'm confused. I'm seeing a lot of comments coming through, and I want to address some of these. How are we making, or at least me? How am I making excuses for B? I said B is struggling because they're not giving the fouls he used to. That's not an excuse. That's what's happening. Oh, yeah. That's what's happening. That's what's happening to Dame. That's what's happening to Booker. That's what's happening to Harden. That's what's happening. It's not an excuse. So y'all excuse is that he misses Ben. And this is where I push back. It's not about Ben. Because y'all would have told me that if Curry was off. Y'all would have said, it's about Ben. Y'all would have told me that if Tobias was off. And they're not off. They scoring the same thing. Tobias, Korkmaz, everybody's scoring the same thing. B game revolved around a foul, and that's what I used to say all the time. And I said the same thing about Harden on the same podcast. I said the boy Harden folds in the playoffs because in the playoffs they call it differently than they call it in the regular season. What they call it now is playoff ball. They might even be calling it harder now than even the playoffs. I can't imagine what's going to look like in the playoffs.
But guess what? B was still scoring in the playoff ball though. That's why I agree with Herb. B don't have shape.
I want B to get
bro. They calling it even. They call it even harder now than even in the playoffs last year.
But I get what you're saying about him being in shape, and I think that goes back to the knee issue that Tim brought up. He never got the knee addressed. So if you don't have your knee addressed, you're not working out like that and getting in shape as much as you should be. And I agree with you that he's not in shape. He's sitting there, he bent over holding his trunks. But it all goes back to the point that Tim made. He should have got that knee taken care of in the off season. And that a whole lot of
it.
It goes back to this too.
Let me jump in.
Let me jump in real quick. Let me say this because I said this when I got down on my team a little bit. I got admit we lost to the Knicks. I was upset. They looked bad. But I said it was more ball movement It was like it was more ball movement. You get more open looks without Ben Simmons in the game. The team looked like a real basketball team, man. Ball swinging around, hitting down the open shot, man. It was good to see. Maxey penetrating and laying up and shooting the ball. It's good to see. It's good to see a point guard like that, man. It's refreshing to see a point guard like that.
I agree.
So is Maxey penetrating and everything if Embiid is sitting in the paint? Like you want him to just sit in the paint and block the paint up?
What you say?
You said you want Embiid to go down the paint. If he's in the paint like that, Maxey's not going in there and getting those baskets.
You ain't in the paint every play, but you get plays for Maxey in there. Draw me up a play for Ben. That's what I want you to do.
Can't do it.
No, I don't care about Ben right now. Ben's not on the floor.
I know Ben. This game was really about the team. The players
can't play with him. Can't coach with him. Can't win with him.
Dominic made a point. Said Embiid has been 24 free throws the last 2 games. 24 free throws the last 2 games. He's still getting to the line. That's what I'm saying. The biggest problem is he's not hitting that. His mid range was automatic last year. If they left him isolated anytime, even a little one foot step back fadeaway mid range was money. His knee is bothering him, and it's his.
But before the last 2 games,
even let me jump in.
Right, go ahead.
All right, going back to that playoff series last year when Ben was out and Embiid was there, he averaged over 30 points a game. The Bull had a plus minus was -8, -18, -21, -6, and all 4 in the sweep. And as far as 3-point shooting, he struggled free throw shooting. He was averaging 4.5 turnovers a game. He did just because he averaged over 30 points a game don't mean it was good basketball play that he was doing. He didn't play well in that playoff series. The numbers were there, but he wasn't real good. I
don't think you can make that argument, Tim, because you argue about Ben stats all the time, but when they try to tell you Ben didn't play well, you first thing you do is talk about, well, Ben had this, that, and the other. So I'm just trying to keep it a big because I go down the road. I go down the middle of both of these.
The reason why we lost is because when he was on the floor, it was more of a negative impact than a positive impact.
Let's be clear.
I agree.
Let's be clear real quick about the Ben free throw thing. The most free throws Ben got all year was that Detroit game. He got 15, and Detroit was definitely hacking. He only took 9 free throws. Yeah, I mean. He only took 9 free throws tonight, and he's only been averaging 8 on a year. He averaged almost 11 free throws a game last year. So his free throws are down. Don't give me just a 2-game stretch and try to act like, oh, they back up. No, his free throws statistically are down this year, almost 3 free throws a game from what he was used to. So I don't believe it. They're not calling the game like they used to. This is very evident. They're not calling the game like they used to before.
Real quick, PA Sasson, you're right. I agree. They are adjusting to Ben not being out there, learning new roles. It is. It's going to take a couple game adjustments, and I don't believe he injured that during the Pelicans game. Well, listen, I believe this. It never healed right, and he re-injured it. He should have went in there and got surgery like he was supposed to. That's what I feel happened. If he got surgery, it would have. I think it would have healed better. He wanted it to heal on his own. Remember during offseason, you never heard nothing about it. Nope. Now all of a sudden it's back up again. So I think he should have went there and got surgery, man. Listen, I understand everybody make their own personal decisions. He might not have went under the knife. He got a couple.
Surgery tough though, man. Surgery.
It is.
It's tough, but you play.
Surgery tough. Like it was a meniscus. I had a torn. I'm almost positive.
You go to Al Bundy stories.
No.
Go ahead.
I had 4 TDs. I'm almost positive I tore something in my ankle. One time I stepped on somebody's foot and my joint turned complete side. And I know it was something tore because every time I jumped, I felt my ankle. I literally felt my ankle go like this. I felt it detach from my foot. And I sat on it. I was driving stick at the time of the job. And I couldn't even push down the clutch with the front of my foot. I had to push down with the ball of my foot, right?
That's what I do.
So my thing is, and I let it wait. I didn't give surgery. I had to let it wait for a while. But now this was very severe. I let it wait for like 8 months. It was like 8-9 months to almost a year before it finally felt better. And I never had no problems from it ever again. And I played countless football games after that. So my thing is, sometimes it's best to let the body naturally heal. You don't always want to put it under the knife. I'm not mad.
But you don't know what your injury was. Now, but I do want to address David Young. You're absolutely right. what about Tobias? We skipping over the fact that Tobias was balling tonight.
Yes,
Tobias went down in that mid range and was bullying.
He can't ball without Ben.
But this is, and that's another. That's one of the other things you might say. And with Ben not being in there, that opens up for Tobias to go ahead and bully more than
he's averaging 19 points a game.
What it do, Wayne? Wait, what it do?
No, I know. I'm telling you, no, for real.
Say it again.
With Ben Simmons not in there, bogging down as much in there, and you got more shooters outside, it gives more room for Tobias to bully more down inside and shoot that mid range. I mean, it does. You know, I'm still kind of half. Yeah, because I do see the benefits that Ben brings, but I also see what he brings away from what he takes away from the team.
When he come back with that jumper, woo,
come on, see, we're not even listening to that. But I do want to say I think that we really not giving the Bull Niang is really a big pickup. Because that's even like with him coming in, he has size coming on. We have him coming in instead of Mike Scott. Just think about that. He's coming in instead of Mike Scott playing that backup power forward. Dude, he can handle the rock. He can shoot. You know what I'm saying?
He's shape Ben Simmons running up and down the floor.
He does. He really does, though.
He do. He actually do.
But he's a smart ball player. So now when you have him in there, like remember Atlanta would come in, and I got to give boy Seth a little bit of props too. Because they was trying to attack Seth early on, because they was like, remember how they was cooking him, and they kept trying to. They had the guy. What's his name? DeAndre, the young boy that was hurt that came back. That was a Hunter. Seth was guarding him. I don't know what that was about, but Seth was guarding him, and he was playing decent defense on him.
Thank you, RJ Lucas.
Let's digress real quick and talk.
Thank you, RJ Lucas.
I just want to talk about the boy McGinnis. The commentators, the play-by-play that we had.
Oh, it was so refreshing.
Wasn't it refreshing to hear him?
I like him on the radio, though. He's good on the radio.
Abanabi.
They
talking basketball. I mean, they was talking college
basketball.
But
it's excitement in the voice. Like the girl, I don't even know her name. She is so bland. She ready to put me. It's like a Phillies game almost. Like she ready to put me to sleep. Yeah. There's when somebody do exciting play, is no change in tone. I'm like, where's your pitch, pace, and modulation? The B book. Like come on, like where's this at? You know what I'm saying? Like it's none of this. It's like trash. It's terrible. I love hearing it.
It sounds like a high school girls basketball game. She calling. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds terrible. Yes,
terrible. I was watching the WNBA sometime. Like, come on.
Yo, do y'all think Doc made some adjustments with the way that with the way he was running the sets?
It was a play. It was a play in there tonight. I don't know if y'all remember. It was a play in there tonight that actually it was Shake. You know how Shake runs in and he dribbles in. Shake actually is pretty good at throwing them oops to the big men too. But Shake ran in there and he ran inside, and then it's like they all swarmed on him. He dished it off to Niang, and as soon as Niang caught it, he touch passed it up to Drummond for the easy put in like that. I was like, it kind of looked like that might have been something the players drew up though. But I'm gonna give Doc the credit because he's the coach. But it was like plays, like small plays like that. It looked like the Sixers. They attacked him a little bit differently, and I don't know if it's because somebody wasn't in there, or
I think you gotta take the reins off Maxey. I think sometimes as a rookie, you can be too, or even a rookie, maybe you could talk to him. He got to be loose, play loose. You know what I mean? Sometimes you be so scared. You look a little tight sometimes. You're so scared to make mistakes. You know what I mean? You want to do good. Everybody watch you, all the veterans. But he looked like he was loose tonight. He went at Trae Young, too. He put a nice move on Trae and laid him up, too, man.
Can you hit that like button for us?
I like Maxey.
People watching.
I like Maxey.
Brandon said Glenn ain't making adjustments since the Clippers. Listen, stop. By the way, the boy Paul George in his bag lately. He been doing his thing. I'm impressed with how you balling. That's a sidebar. But overall, I know we young like we lost. I'm definitely happy with the way we look tonight. Like I think Ethan mentioned earlier, the ball movement, everybody moving the ball around, everybody getting in. If B get his mind right and know how to work around this new rule calling and maybe his knee can get tight, we might have something to Maxey, especially if Maxey is the linchpin. What Wayne said last year about Seth, it pertains this year to Maxey. He's the linchpin. If he could get this thing popping.
I don't think it's just him, though. To be honest with you, it's Shake Milton because
we a lot of that too. Coming off that second unit, I agree with that.
Because Shake Milton last year, remember that one game that we won when we were struggling against them? He came and gave us like 14 good points. When Shake has a good game, the Sixers win. And then it makes everybody else better. Like it makes Maxey's game better, makes everybody game. But to me, when it comes down to it, Shake Milton. If it's not going to be Shake Milton, then if we do decide to trade Ben, we need somebody that's going to be that energy button for us. We need that second person, that second scorer. But
so you saying trade Ben for role player?
No, I just said we're gonna need somebody strong. We need a.
You said somebody. You said for that second win. So you compared it to the bench.
I'm saying
you compared it to the bench player.
Want to trade Ben? Trade him for a player, not no ordinary.
All I'm saying is you done changed up now. You were saying we had to have a difference maker. Now you saying we just need to spark off the bench for Ben, right?
We need somebody.
I gotta be honest with you. I think bringing Ben back to this team, is a bad move.
No, it's not.
I absolutely agree with that.
Look how he shoot around tonight, and that's why we won.
I think it's a bad move. First of all, let's be honest. He doesn't get along with any of our team. It's not a good fit for the players, for him. I don't know why they're trying to force this, but you need some type of cohesion. You know what I mean? I don't even like it. You don't even like these guys, man.
I'm telling you, Ethan. The worst thing that happened to Ben. Don't let us win like out of the next 10 games, win like 7 of them. Don't let that happen. Because if Ben come back and we lose like 2 games,
ain't no way in the world he gonna handle that.
If he come back and we lose like 2 straight days, bruh, you telling me? Come on, no. The worst thing
he gonna be on games, you gonna blame everything on Ben.
Not necessarily us. But you know the fans is gonna be ripping because This is what he did to himself by all the dramatics and everything else he did. I'm curious to see what kind of reaction he got when he came in that shoot around for the game, right? I want to see what the reaction was. Like, what was the fans? Was they chastising them? Was they booing them? Was they encouraging them?
This is the second shoot around that he appeared in. It's not like
okay. Yeah, but this the first one at home, though.
Listen, you seeing the growth of Maxey.
Yes.
You seeing the growth of Maxey.
Maxey looks so comfortable. Maxey looks so comfortable right now.
Honestly, I do agree with you about that. But this my thing. Like I said in the last game, we need a point guard. We need a floor general. If Maxey can prove to be that guy, and I felt that way coming into the season, I wanted to see Maxey take over that spot, whereas though he putting up the Ben Simmons numbers or whatever. I don't even care.
Emo caping for Ben hard. Look, he's trying to cape without really caping. He tried soft. What's it called? Soft shoe, Tim. He soft shoe caping. He soft shoe caping. Listen, bro, cape for him. You want to cape for him? Cape for him. Because I want to hear the same energy. If this bull come back and start stinking it up and put the same game that I know he's going to have, when he start calling the team to look all bogged down, I want the same smoke. I want all the smoke that you got right now. Please do. That's all I'm saying. So cape for him. Don't soft shoe do it. Don't act like, y'all making excuses for B, but y'all ain't making excuses for Ben. No. Cape up for him. Get your white knight on. Let me see your true colors. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to be right here to tell you.
Coming back and playing well because I want him to build up trade value.
Let me ask you something.
If he comes back and play well, that's just good for the Sixers.
If he comes back and play well, you need to trade him because if he comes back and plays well in the regular season or just plays how he used to, I still want to trade him because I just want the value to be up for whatever it can go up to. I want it to be up so that we can trade. I don't trust him in the playoffs. I have no trust for Ben in the playoffs.
You know what I like though this year? Almost every game we play. It's gonna be a good game. It's a lot of teams. It's a lot of nice teams in the East right now, man. Look, the Wizards 5-1. Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought?
The Hornets 4-2.
I think that's going to fold for the Wizards. I don't think the Wizards are going to hold that up.
I like
Miz. No, I'm still not ready to say that if we played Maxey, we would have won over Ben because I don't think Maxey was ready last year. I don't think Maxey was ready yet. I like Maxey. I like Maxey a whole lot, and I hope he develops into being. I hope he develops to being a John Morant type player. I don't know if he's going to be on.
He was ready game 6,
but I want him
game 6.
And guess what? And they tried to give him. They tried to come back to him in game 7, and he couldn't do it.
No, he only got like 11 minutes in game 7.
They came back to him, and he didn't do it, and so then Doc went back
35 minutes in game 7.
he was not ready last year. I'm sorry. He just wasn't ready last year.
I agree with you. I don't trust Toby in the playoffs either.
Maxey would have dunked on Trae Young. Maxey would have dunked on him. Don't give me that.
No,
if we'd have put Maxey in the
Maxey
game,
he was going to dunk off the post?
yes.
Yeah, all right.
Maxey would have dunked right off the first. Right off the first.
Maxey balled in game 6. No, I just don't think that Maxey, and part of it is what y'all saying though. Like, I don't think that like how y'all was saying last year, where Doc wasn't building Maxey up during the regular season. Doc should have been giving him more burn, or should have sent him down to the D-League and let him get his flow. I just don't think that he was there yet, and that's why I was hopeful coming into the season, because I felt like he had a full off season. He had a chance to develop all that stuff. So and it's just still early.
Last year we got killed. Last year we got killed by that role players like Gallinari and Horter. They gave us the business with their shooting. They really didn't have a good game. So we got to also gauge what Atlanta did today too. They didn't have their great performances. So I'm not going to sit there and say we so much better when it was just we was good tonight and they weren't.
I think it was revenge game.
The Bull Brandon Stokes said Elo's new name is Jalen Benjamin Hurts.
So I think it was the boy Lucas who said every time he come in here,
all over the place. He all over the place when somebody's stinking it up. If he trash, he's trash. If he runs, he runs. He's garbage.
Mr. Wing do be hating. Mr. Wing is a hater. Man. That's what
Mr. Wing is a hater.
Willie Burton? Willie Burton, no.
He's talking about Maxey Ceiling as Willie Burton. If he go,
he can at least that like Claxton or something. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's hating. RJ Lucas, we did shut him down.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good team. It's a good team. See,
great team.
This is what I hope.
Great.
This is the point that I hope we can get to in this season as Sixers fans, where we appreciate the team and not stop being torn because we have certain biases towards certain players. Like
that's you.
Like, how was it me? Who am I biased against?
Remember when we first started? Hold on. Remember
I got biased against both you trash.
Remember, I'm biased against Ben because he's trash. Remember our first couple games when we won, and Ephraim came on here talking about how much we like this team, how the ball rotation was, and you and Tim was like,
nope, that's not true. That is not true. Because me and Ephraim, the first game was coming on here talking about how Korkmaz stepped up, and we like Niang, and I like Drummond. I've been saying that I like this team. So don't do that.
You letting Tim mindset. See, Tim, you gotta remember, Wayne has distanced himself from Tim. Remember, Wayne and Tim used to be hand in glove for a long time.
I was never in the same recording. Tim always thought that Ben Simmons was going to start shooting jump shots. I never thought that.
Wayne was the point of it.
Wayne and Tim was hand in glove.
You know what finger Wayne is right now? Y'all talking this nonsense.
And eventually Wayne wisened up and distanced himself from the foolishness called Tim Wongas. But you sometimes still bring him back in there. Wayne, I agree. Wayne was all on the Sixers after the first game. I think after the Knicks game, everybody got a little salty. We saw some deficiencies there. I do think it was more of a bad game. I think we play the Knicks again, it won't be that bad. I don't think they'll beat us like that. But I mean, Maxey, man, he's the key to me, because if he can continue to create and continue to make the defense come out, obviously, I still think Embiid is going to get his game back on track. I know he's not playing good, but I think
it's Shake Milton. You got to remember,
Shake do what he do. Shake averaged 13. You know what Shake averaging this year? He averaged 12 points a game. You know what he averaged last year?
This is the second game, but I'm saying
exactly. He had 13 one game, and he had 11 this game. If he averages 13, which he averaged last year, that's cool. I mean, I think he's going to do the same thing he did last year.
But because
Shake
didn't respond in the playoffs last year like we needed him to.
He didn't respond in the regular season like we needed him to.
Shake actually stepped up. I think it was either a game in Atlanta or the game against Washington.
One game, and it was that energy. That's what I'm talking about. That energy that he had that one game.
So he stepped up.
That was one game. That's what I'm saying. We need consistent Shake.
But we didn't have consistent Shake. Oh, we didn't have consistent Shake during the season. Remember, the big problem that we had was last season when Ben Simmons came out of the game. Ben Simmons was our best option at point guard. Ben Simmons played a decent, in my opinion, Ben Simmons played point guard decently. But when he came out the game, our bench had no point guard, and our bench would get blown out the water. That's why we went and got George Hill. So Shake wasn't. We expected Shake to be that dude off the bench that was going to be a scorer and contribute and take control of the game off the bench, and he wasn't.
Hey, email and Herbert. Let me say this one more time, and I'm not addressing this no more. Bede is playing like whack juice right now. I'm not caping up for Bede like y'all try to cape up for Ben. He's playing whack right now. And because, like me and Ethan said a long time ago, he usually always did a little swipe through. He played for the foul too much. I hated that. But he would get it, so they would bail him out. He's not getting it anymore, so he playing like trash. This is not excuses, not caping up. Just like I called Ben super duper trash when he playing like super duper trash. B playing like trash right now, but at least B at some point in his career was an MVP candidate and probably would have won it if he didn't miss so many games. I think he's gonna get back on track. I seen him do it. I think he'll do it again. I ain't never see Ben do nothing.
Y'all treat Ben Embiid like I do Carson Wentz. He would have got the MVP if he didn't get hurt. But
all right, let me get it.
Always get
he balled, but he
listen,
balled.
I agree with. Let me get it here. I agree with Phil. Shake problem is being consistent. I would like to see Shake consistent this year. Last year he had a lot of ups and downs. He went to that slide in the playoffs. He had a horrible playoffs. I think he had like one good game in the playoffs. Shake, I do want to see Shake get more consistent. I mean, we'll see what happens. He got another season under his belt. Remember, Shake, where did Shake come from? The D-League?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to give Shake a lot of credit for turning his game around like he did.
I mean, they drafted Shake. When they drafted Shake, I think he was like a second-round pick or something like that. Shake wasn't like no undrafted free agent because I remember watching him.
Wesley, hilarious.
I remember watching him in the preseason, and he looked shook to me. Like the first year, he looked shook, but then they sent him down to the D-League, and when he came back up, he looked more confident. But that's why I keep saying Shake is sometimes a boy is who he is. But then too, it is the other side of it is these guys come out of college and stuff so early now, they still young. So it's like you hope that that's like you look at somebody like Julius Randle, people was talking like he was trash all these years, but then once he got to like 25, look at Tobias. Once they got to a certain age, they game stepped up. Dudes used to come out of college at like 21, 22, and then, you know what I'm saying, and play better. These guys coming out like 18, 19.
Yo, I love Brandon Stokes, bro. Thank you for addressing the foolishness in the comments, bro. Because I can't always go back to the nonsense and the regurgitated dumbness that I keep trying to address that I'm speaking on, but then nobody act like I'm speaking on. So thank you, Brandon. Thank you. That's all I gotta say, because I'm not addressing it no more. Because I spoke on what I spoke on it, and thank you for that. But moving forward, I hope and pray that Ben Simmons don't come back. That's what I gotta say. I hope he don't come back. If he come back, it will be the worst thing ever. That's all I'm saying. I like the way this team looking. I like the way Maxey looking. I don't want him to retard Maxey's progress. He's going on a nice pace. He's getting better. If you bring Ben back, it's going to be terrible for Maxey.
I'm telling you what's going to happen. If you bring let's be honest. If you bring Ben back in crunch time minutes, is Ben or Maxey going to be in the game?
Okay,
this is what's
That's fine if you want to put him on. If you feel like you want to put him in crunch time so he can score because he can get to the basket.
How's that going to affect Ben? How's that going to affect Ben's psyche? Ben's going to get all these questions after the game.
There's no way they're going to put Maxey in over Ben unless Ben missing the.
You have to. You have to. You have to. If Ben's still not making free throws, you have to put Maxey in the game.
I do have to temper something down a little bit, and I like Maxey. But he had Trae Young guarding him. Trae Young. This wasn't with the Knicks when they had guards.
Hold on. I need to address that when you're done. Let me address that when you're done.
I'm giving Maxey his props, but he didn't have the guards that the Knicks had playing defense on him. But he did what he was supposed to do.
Go ahead. Let me ask you this: Who was Trae Young guarding in the playoffs? Huh? Who was Trae Young guarding in the playoffs?
Get him, Ethan. Talk to him. Talk to him.
Who was he guarding?
Talking that foolishness.
The whole playoffs. Hold on. The whole playoffs, I was screaming, "Why are you not exposing Trae Young on defense?" They didn't do it. None of the 7 games.
Yes, they did.
All 7 games.
Why you think Seth Curry was getting off?
They had Trae on Seth. 7 games.
They did. Seth was playing against the Bulls. Lemon Pepper Lou and Herbert.
No, Seth was guarding them sometimes, but they were not guarding Seth. That's why Seth was getting off because Trae Young was on him.
No, he wasn't. He was on Ben. That's who he was
He
on.
wasn't on Ben. He wasn't on Ben because they kept putting the power forward dudes on Ben.
Come on, my thing was I was
listen,
screaming.
I'm not saying that
Trae Young, abuse him on defense.
Trae Young was not guarding. Trae Young was okay. Wait a minute. The infamous play we're talking about. Who was guarding Ben when Ben passed off? Who was guarding him?
Trae Young.
It was Gallinari. Gallinari was guarding him, and he did a spin move on Gallinari, and then he threw the pass to Gallinari was guarding him on that play. That's the point I'm making.
But I'm not making this. That was the one time.
They did it on a regular, but I'm not making this about Ben. All I'm saying is I'm talking about Maxey, not Ben. I'm talking about with Maxey. I want to see this growth for Maxey, but let's not get overexcited when he was playing against a guard that plays no defense. I want to see Maxey develop.
You take advantage. That's what I want. Take advantage of that.
Brandon,
no, I agree, but he didn't do that against the Knicks.
Brandon just said the realest thing.
Brandon, no one cares what you can miss though.
Brandon just said the realest thing of all time. He said, "I'm convinced that Emo and Tim are the same dude, and you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I've been saying this in our personal chat for years. They're the same dude. This is absolutely truth.
They like a squirrel size.
That's hate. And y'all the same too. Ethan and you from the same dude.
We are. Yes, we are. Yep, we are. And we the same two right. And we the same two right dudes.
Email Swahili means Tim.
Hey, that's because we the only ones looking true. It's going to take 2 or 3 years, then y'all going to realize, oh, yeah, y'all both right.
No, it took you 4 years to realize Ben was never going to improve. And you still ain't realizing yet.
Glad we
That's fine.
Trade Ben Simmons. That's what you're going to be saying next.
Hey, Mizzy Miz. It ain't that we talk about defense too much. I think, and Ephraim said this earlier, they overrate. We talk about defense because some people in here, to me, overrate the defense that Ben brings to the team.
Yes.
To me, basketball is a team defense. Everybody's not going to stay everybody. So you're going to have your help defense. You got to do your rotating, stuff like that. So I don't want to say I care less about D, but I care about D. But I think scoring the ball is a little more important. I had this argument with Wayne before. I think scoring is the most important thing in basketball. We had this argument before. Wayne thinks
if you have good defense, you can stop. You can hold scoring in check.
All right, y'all. Let's
look at what the Knicks did to the Sixers.
I think scoring is the most important.
No, listen. I love defense. When I play football, I play corner. I love playing corner. But my thing is, y'all overrate Ben Simmons' defense. That's the problem. That's why I push back. When Bulls is trying to say Defensive Player of the Year, there's no way Defensive Player of the Year lets his team get dropped 60 on about 3 different players and he never guards them once. Bradley Bill, Dame Lillard. Oh, my fault. Bradley Bill, Dame Lillard,
that one to yourself.
And Kemba Walker. 3 people. He let score 60 and he never got on one time. That's not Defensive Player of the Year to me. So get out of here with that nonsense.
But so because he did that, but also in the playoffs, wasn't he the one that said that he wanted to guard Trae Young? And then when he guarded Trae Young wasn't as effective?
Exactly.
Trae Young was a little bit less than what he was normalcy. Trae Young shoots a terrible.
From what Trae Young did the first game?
I'm not talking. I'm talking about what Trae Young did in a regular season. Trae Young,
but what Trae Young was doing in the playoffs was not what he did in the regular season.
I gotta see his whole playoff stat. I don't remember his whole playoff run. I know Trae Young shoots a low 30% from 3. He's not a good 3-point shooter. When he jacks up 5, he makes 5 out of 13 to 14 threes every game. He shoots a low 30%. He takes a lot of bad shots. So I'm not giving Ben all this hope.
He didn't take a lot of bad shots today. He didn't take it.
Brandon Stokes, why would you say that?
I'm talking about last year.
Brandon Stokes,
look at his stats.
They became bad shots.
Golden State did have a defensive specialist, but they was built different. Their defensive specialist was the boy Draymond Green.
Draymond Green won Defensive Player of the Year when Golden State won the championship. Do we forget that? He actually won Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's their first or second year run to the title. Draymond Green is in my opinion, he's the best overall defender in the league. He can. Draymond's the best overall defender in the league to me. He can guard. He can legit guard every 5 positions, like they say Ben can when he really can. He can legit guard every 5 positions. This not even turned into a recap of the game. It's turned into let's hate on Ben. But let's.
You're right. Let's recap the game.
Hit that like, button.
Who get game
Everybody, we
ball?
got
Who get
70
game
people
ball?
like- we have 70 people on, so can we get half? Can we get it up to 35? But tomorrow we'll be right back after the game. We'll be playing the Eagles. The Eagles
We don't play tomorrow.
The Eagles play tomorrow. And
Nah.
the Eagles play the Detroit Lions. So right after the game, we'll be right back on. But once again, thanks for the support. Thanks for watching this.
I'm looking forward to that Portland game. I'm looking forward to the trade we can get.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, if we get Dame, we get Dame.
Trae Young is by the way, Trae Young is shooting 29% from three this year, and he shot 34% from three last year. Like I said, he shoots lower 30%. But that's neither here nor there.
He shot 39% against the Knicks.
Thanks for listening. Thanks
We
for
talking about
watching.
the season.
He shot
You
better.
picked one game.
But no, I'm talking about in the playoffs last year. Trae Young was balling. He was balling out until Ben Simmons got on him.
We out.
What did you shoot for the season?